Alright YouTube, we back. So last night I took apart the trunk. New speakers will be here tomorrow, not the ones that originally I sent out to go get fixed. I'll explain you that in a minute. I was thinking about changing the ports, but being that it's as tight as it is, especially with the PVC and the wood being as thick as it is, I won't be able to fit the 3-inch port on that. So it is what it is. So what I did was I bent these lines a little bit so they're more of an angle, more spaced out. Trying to put my cover back on. Made this little bracket yesterday out of PVC, so I used the heat torch, heated it, bended it. Same thing right there. So it's like an L bracket kind of. It's not a manifold itself. It's not gonna be loose no more once I put the other hard lines on there. We good. Shit, waiting for the delivery driver like if he owe me money. So we got my tank over there. Nothing to it. That's gonna get replaced shortly. The bay is still debating if I should go with a polish or flat black, but it's gonna be seamless. And the good part is that I don't have to worry about having these half-inch ports on the tank. So less fittings. It's gonna look a lot neater. The other tanks will look way better. This time I'm not gonna paint it. I'm gonna leave it as is because that tank got painted like 3 or 4 times already. So what's going on now is on my BD4 audio pipes, the guy's taking too long to build them. So because he's taking too long to build them, the issue that we're running into is that I missed like 2 shows already. I need them. You know, I also got a big show coming up that I've been waiting for months for to go to, and I'm not trying to miss it for the world. So the issue that we got going on now is that I called the guy up. He's been hard to reach to, and then when I did reach to him, it's been almost like 2 months. He tells me, oh, well, when it's ready, I'm going to give you a call. Still haven't got the call yet. I didn't even bother to try to call him all day. I'm like, fuck it. So I ended up ordering me some new subs. I didn't want to get the same ones that I had in the car initially because it'll be important. It's because I'll be sitting on another set of BD4s. So I ended up going with Seismic Audio, a brand new company. I think they've been out for roughly about a year. I spoke to the company to see if they can give me sponsorship, but you know how that goes. They always tell you no. It's a new company. They like barely even established a name for themselves, but I heard very good things about them. And I heard the speakers are amazing, which is why I bought them. They're an inch taller than the BD4s. Hopefully, if the Amazon or delivery driver gets here, whoever is delivering it, gets here pretty soon, I'll show you guys how it looks like. In the meanwhile, I'm just marinating on the car. I was going to redesign the port, but the issue with my port is that those custom boxes that were built for me, the wood is extra thick in there. So to make the hole bigger for the extra port, that was going to be somewhat difficult, and which is something that I didn't want to deal with. So I'm just going to leave the ports as is. Like I said, the box did sound amazing when I first built it and when I ported it. So I'm hopefully, with the speakers being a little bit strong or a lot stronger than with the ones that I had in there, that we get better results, we get more power, and we get the same results that we had before, but better. So hopefully we get like those real crisp, clean lows. So while I'm here marinating on the car, see the back is all done. I showed you guys that already in the video before this one, so that's all good to go. So give me a few minutes and I'll start recording again as soon as it shows up. We'll do an unboxing and installing, and no playing because I'm not trying to get copyrighted. You know what time it is. About time. It finally came in. So I got one in there. This actually fits so freaking good. I had to cut the material that goes around the box just to make it fit. Well, look at that. They're as beefy as they say they are. That's it. Yep, sorry for the noise. Waiting for the compressor to fill up. Put them both in there. So I really like the way it looks. Feels good to finally have bass again. Alright, as you can see, I'm back in the house. I had a long day today, so as far as the seismic audio goes, today's gonna be a win. So I'm gonna tell you what I don't like, what I do like, and things of that nature. So what's going on right now with the whole seismic audio situation is what I don't like is that you see other YouTubers that talk about the speakers and say that they're not that great because they can't handle that much power. But it's like, how can you expect a speaker that's made to do 2200 watts, and if you get two, that's 4200 watts of power, and you're trying to put an 8K amp on it? The 8000 watt amp is going to be too much for that speaker. Of course, it's not going to handle it. Of course, it's not going to want to do what you want it to do. You know, if you want a speaker that's going to handle more power, then you get something that's going to handle you more power. These right here, I would consider to be a level 4. They're the same as the audio pipe, like I mentioned in my video. Same exact thing. The only difference is that they're an inch taller. The only weird thing is that in the picture that they showed me, it showed that it had a dust cap on it. When I received it, it didn't have a dust cap. It was similar to the BD4, so it was all like a completely flat base, which is better for me anyways, because just in case if I do decide to put something in my trunk, I don't have to worry about the freaking dust cap getting pushed in. But as far as that goes, it's going to be a win. It sounds great. The only thing I would consider to be a downside, and maybe it could be the way my box was built, or maybe it has something to do with the port. But my other BD2, the lows usually hit a little harder. But with this speaker, like, you're still getting the lows. Maybe, I'm going to give it a shot. Maybe because it's brand new and it needs to break in. So I'm going to allow that break-in period. But certain songs that I used to play that had lows on it, I had played that today, and it wasn't really doing much for me. But the bass was hitting harder. You can feel the bass more in your chest. And I don't have my amp turned up all the way. Like I said, whenever you adjust your amps, the gain is the only thing you want to touch. The frequency, you want to adjust it to the speaker itself on whatever the requirement is in the specification sheets. And then for the amp itself, we don't touch the bass boost. Leave that alone. Shut it off. No need to touch it, or else you're gonna get major distortion. So if you gotta turn up the bass boost on your amp to get more bass, you either need a better radio or you need better equipment that's able to give you what you want to put. Otherwise than that, what I gotta say about Seismic Audio is that it's made very well made, had a lot of weight to it. It sounds great, and what I like about it the most is that the fitment is extra tight. So the basket is a lot bigger than the BD2s, BD4s, and any other sub that I had in there. So when the speaker fit in there, it was nice and tight. I was able to pull all 8 screws. With other speakers, sometimes it gets hard because sometimes the hole on the box is just a little bit bigger than the speaker because of the way they cut it. So the box can't fit tight, and then you can't get the 4 or the 8 screws to fit on there. But this was extremely tight fitting. I got all 8 screws to fit in there flawlessly. So as far as that goes, Seismic Audio for the win. Sounds great. Like I said, most likely if I get any other customers that are looking for speakers, Seismic Audio is probably going to be one of my best suggestions besides Audio Pipe. That's been such a good company to me. But, you got to try something new. So this is the new. And like I said, it's not really much to it. You get most YouTubers that talk about how bad the speaker is, how it doesn't handle that much power. For me, I like to keep everything short and simple. Like I said, you've seen the speaker, it got installed, no need for me to go in detail. It's a real bulky speaker, it's heavy. The only thing I don't like is that when it came in the packaging was damaged. So I don't know whether it was the company's fault or whoever packaged it. It looks like it dropped on the floor because the cardboard box was pretty beat up. But otherwise than that, Seismic Audio for the win. Have a good day. This is probably going to be my last video for a while, so if I do post, it'll probably maybe be in a couple of weeks from now. Stay tuned. Seismic Audio for the win.